Imagine for a second, you are walking down a busy street in the middle of the day. You're looking for a specific shop.
Okay.
You've got the address on your phone, the GPS says you have arrived, but when you look up, the windows are painted black.
That is not a welcoming sign.
It gets worse. The sign above the door has been taken down. The door is locked. You can't see the staff. You can't see the products.
Yeah.
And you have absolutely no idea if anyone is even inside. What do you do?
You keep walking immediately. You assume they went bust, or the very least, they don't want to be found.
Exactly. You walk 5 feet to the next door that has the lights on and the door propped open. Now, here is the scary part.
Yeah.
And the premise for today's deep dive, this blacked out storefront, is exactly what thousands of businesses look like online right now.
Right. They are running what our source today calls a ghost business.
It's a harsh reality to face.
It is. In the modern digital marketplace, if you don't show up in a search with video, and we're not just talking about text on a website, but actual video, you are essentially invisible.
You're the shop with the blacked out windows.
Exactly.
And that is why I am so excited to unpack today's deep dive. We are looking at a book called The Video Secret Weapon by Wayne Wallace.
And the subtitle is A Big Promise.
A huge promise. 21 strategic ways to grow your business using your smartphone.
And before you roll your eyes thinking, great, another guide on how to become a TikTok influencer, let me stop you.
Right.
This isn't about becoming famous. It isn't about dancing. It's about business survival.
And what I found so interesting right off the bat was the author himself, Wayne Wallace. He's not your typical marketing guru.
No, he's what I'd call a modern Renaissance man. His background is fascinating.
He started as an engineer.
An engineer and a programmer.
Yeah.
We're talking C++I, AutoCAD.
Yeah.
Very structural, logical, left brain stuff.
And then he pivots completely to become an award-winning photographer and documentary filmmaker.
Which seems like a contradiction, doesn't it? Engineering is rigid, filmmaking is creative.
Yeah.
But Wallace argues that this combination is actually his superpower. Because of his engineering background, he sees the mechanics of storytelling.
So he approaches video not just as art, but as a system.
As a system, a tool to build trust and scale operations.
He makes the argument that the smartphone in your pocket isn't a toy to doom scroll on, it's a piece of industrial machinery.
Exactly. It's a cinematic powerhouse that can build a moat around your business if you know how to use it.
So the mission for this deep dive is to move away from the idea that video is a chore or a nice to have and see it as the engine of the business.
Right.
Wallace outlines 21 ways to use video, but before we get to the list, we have to talk about the mindset shift. He distinguishes between tactics and strategy.
This is the core of his argument. Most people treat video as a tactic.
What does he mean by that?
A tactic is a one-off trick. You post a video because you feel guilty that you haven't posted in a month. Or you try a trend because you saw a competitor do it.
You hope it goes viral.
You hope it goes viral, and when it doesn't, you say, well, video doesn't work for my industry.
I feel incredibly called out right now. That is exactly the throw spaghetti at the wall approach I've used.
You aren't alone. Wallace calls this the pile of bricks.
I love this metaphor. It's so visual.
Think about it. If you want to build a house, which represents your brand story, you need bricks. But if you order a truckload of bricks and just dump them on your front lawn, do you have a house?
No, you have a messy pile of bricks and angry neighbors.
Exactly. Most businesses are just making piles of bricks. Monday, they post a picture of their lunch. Tuesday, a meme. Wednesday, a sales pitch. It's random.
There is no architecture.
None. A true video strategy uses every video as a brick placed with intention to build a specific structure.
And the style of that structure matters too. He talks a lot about documentary storytelling versus salesy ads.
This connects to the wall of suspicion. Modern consumers are smart. We've been advertised to since the day we were born.
We're so jaded.
Completely. As soon as we see a polished, perfect commercial with an actor smiling too hard, our brains put up a wall. We think, they are trying to extract money from me.
So how do you get past the wall?
You don't try to break it down, you walk around it with truth. Documentary storytelling, showing real people, real struggles, real work, it lowers that wall.
It's authentic.
It builds trust because it feels authentic. It's not a pitch, it's proof.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics of this. We've grouped his 21 ways into 4 main buckets to make it easier to digest. Identity, proving value, authority, and my personal favorite, operations.
Sounds good.
Let's start with identity.
This is answering the question, who are you? But not just the logo. Wallace talks about the brand movie.
Which is different from a commercial.
Very distinct. A commercial says, buy this. A brand movie says, this is who we are and why we exist.
And a huge part of that is the founder's narrative. Wallace talks about this idea of equity.
Yes. This is crucial for small business owners. You might be selling the same product as the guy down the street. Maybe you're both selling coffee.
Right.
If you just sell the liquid in the cup, you are competing on price. But if you share your story, how you traveled to Colombia to find the beans, why you roast them a certain way, you are depositing equity into the business.
Because no one else has your specific history.
Precisely. Competitors can copy your pricing, they can copy your product features, they can hire your staff.
But they can't copy your story.
They cannot copy your story. That is your moat.
I love that term, the moat. It protects you from the competition. He also mentions how stating your values clearly acts as a magnet.
And a filter. This is a really sharp insight. A mission film should explain your values so clearly that it attracts the right customers, the ones who believe what you believe.
But just as importantly,
It should repel the wrong customers.
repelling customers sounds counterintuitive. Don't we want everyone's money?
Not if it costs you your sanity. You want to repel the people who will be difficult, who don't value your work, or who are just looking for the cheapest option.
So a good video filters them out before they even call you.
Yes, you're saving yourself the bad phone call. If your video shows you meticulously handcrafting a table and talking about patience, the customer who wants a rush job for $50 is going to watch that and say, not for me.
And that is a victory.
A huge victory.
Okay, so we've established who we are. Now we need to prove we're actually good at what we do. This is the section on proving value. And Wallace talks about removing the mystery box.
This is a huge psychological barrier. When a customer hires a service business, say a contractor, a lawyer, or a consultant, they are often buying a mystery box.
What does that mean, a mystery box?
Well, they pay the money, and then they don't know what happens. It's the black hole between paying the invoice and getting the result.
it creates so much anxiety.
It does. So the process transparency film is the solution. You
Right.
show the work, you show the checklist, you show the standards, you essentially open the box before they buy.
And this leads to one of the most interesting psychological concepts in the entire book.
Oh, yes. The labor illusion.
This was my biggest aha moment. Unpack the labor illusion for us.
So people value something more if they can see the effort that went into it. There was a study involving travel websites. When people searched for a flight, if the results popped up instantly, they actually trusted the results less.
That's wild. We want to wait.
We want to see the work. When the site showed a progress bar saying, searching airlines, comparing prices, checking routes, and it took a few seconds longer, people valued the results more.
They liked knowing work was being done for them.
Yes. So if I'm a video editor or a graphic designer showing a time lapse of me actually doing the work,
That justifies your price.
100%. If you just deliver the logo, the client thinks, oh, that's nice. Took you 5 minutes, right? If you show them the hours of sketching, the grid work, the color theory testing, they think, wow, this is a craft. It builds sweat equity in the customer's mind.
It proves you aren't just pressing a button.
Exactly. Show the mess. Show the struggle. It validates the invoice.
He also talks about case studies as a major way to prove value. But he's very specific. It's not just a testimonial saying, Bob is great.
No, Bob is great is nice, but it's fluff. Wallace applies his engineering mindset here.
So it needs structure.
A case study needs a narrative arc. The anatomy of a case study is the challenge, the solution, and the result.
It's basically the scientific method applied to marketing.
It is. It serves as proof of concept. It tells the skeptical viewer, I had a massive problem like yours, I hired this person, they applied this specific solution, and here is the data that shows it was fixed.
And transformation films take that a step further, right?
Yes. A case study focuses on the project. A transformation film focuses on the person.
The human element.
Right. It's about the relief and success the client feels. It's selling without selling because you aren't bragging. Your happy client is doing the bragging for you.
Okay, let's move to the next bucket. Establishing authority and removing friction. We're in a war for attention. Wallace called it the 5-second war.
This refers to your website. When someone lands on your homepage, you have about 5 seconds before they bounce, meaning they leave.
That's not a lot of time.
It's nothing. And if they see a wall of text, they're gone. Our brains are lazy. We don't want to read a novel to figure out what you do.
So the high-impact landing film is the weapon here.
Precisely. Video processes in the brain 60,000 times faster than text. A dynamic video that shows your face, your energy, your work, it hooks them.
It buys you time.
It buys you the time to tell the rest of the story.
And once they are hooked, they have questions. Usually the same 5 questions over and over again.
Which brings us to the strategic FAQ film. This is pure efficiency. Think about how much time business owners spend answering the same questions. How much does it cost? How long does it take? Do you travel?
I can imagine the fatigue. You type the same email over and over.
So Wallace suggests recording video answers to these top questions. It creates a digital assistant.
So a customer can get those answers at 10 p.m. on a Sunday.
Exactly. They feel served, and you didn't have to lift a finger.
It also positions you as an expert because you're anticipating their needs. Speaking of experts, he has a strategy called authority interviews.
This is a classic borrowed credibility play.
Okay.
If you are a new business, you might not have a lot of authority yet. But if you interview an established expert in your field, sit down, have a coffee, film it, you are visually positioned in the inner circle.
It's guilt by association, but positive.
Exactly. And it adds value to your audience because you're bringing them insights from other smart people. You become a curator of wisdom, not just a salesperson.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me. We usually think of video as marketing, getting new customers. But Wallace devotes a whole section to operations and scaling.
Using video inside the business?
Yes.
This is where the engineer in him really comes out. He's looking at system efficiency. He asks, how can we use video to clone ourselves?
Let's talk about internal culture films. This is for hiring.
Yes. Usually, job postings are dry text documents. You get a flood of resumes, and half of them are just looking for a paycheck. They don't care about your mission. An internal culture film shows the vibe of the office. It shows the team laughing, working hard, the actual environment.
So again, it's a magnet and a filter.
Right. You want someone to watch it and say, I want to work there, or, wow, that looks too intense for me, and not apply. It helps you find the dream team who fits your culture.
And once you hire them, you have to train them. This is where he brings in the do-it-once rule.
This is the secret to scaling without burnout. If you have to explain how to use the CRM software to every new hire, and it takes an hour, and you hire 5 people a year,
That's 5 hours of your life gone.
explaining the same buttons, Wallace says, record it once. Do it perfectly.
And then that video works for you forever.
It creates consistency. The video never has a bad day. It never forgets a step. It never gets impatient when the new hire asks to see it again.
And it applies to clients, too. Onboarding films are huge.
Oh, absolutely. Instead of a new client wondering what happens next, send them a video. Welcome aboard. Here's exactly what we are going to do in the first week.
It stops the panic emails.
It makes them feel taken care of.
I love the idea of the video business card, too, specifically for proposals.
This is a deal closer. Instead of sending a boring PDF proposal and hoping they read it,
Which they won't.
they won't. You send a video walking them through it. You have the PDF on your screen and your face in the corner, and you say, hey, on page 3, I broke down the costs for you.
It personalizes the paperwork.
It keeps you top of mind while they are deciding. It's much harder to say no to a person than to a document.
Okay, I know what you're thinking right now. This sounds amazing, but also exhausting.
Yeah.
We've talked about brand movies, FAQs, training videos, proposals, making 21 types of videos. I'd never sleep.
That is the fear. I don't have time to be a content creator. But Wallace addresses this with what he calls the pizza metaphor.
Please explain. I'm getting hungry.
You don't eat a whole pizza in one bite, you slice it. He argues for an ecosystem of content based on repurposing.
So you don't shoot 20 separate videos from scratch.
No, that's the hard way.
Yeah.
The smart way is to shoot one hero video. Maybe that's a 20-minute documentary about your process or a long-form interview.
That's your pizza.
That's your pizza. Then you slice it.
Give us the breakdown. How many slices can you get?
You take that one video, you cut 3 short vertical clips for TikTok or Reels. You take 5 compelling quotes and turn them into image cards for Instagram. You transcribe the audio and turn it into a blog post for SEO.
You could do an email blast too.
Right, you send an email to your list with a link to the video. So 1 day of filming.
Creates a month's worth of content.
It's about working smarter, not harder. You aren't reinventing the wheel every morning. You're just serving slices of the pizza you already baked.
That makes it feel so much more manageable.
It shifts the focus from content creation, which sounds draining, to documenting.
Oh, that's a good distinction.
If you just document what you are already doing, the content creates itself. You don't have to act. You just have to press record.
So we've covered the mindset, the brand building, the proof, the operations, and the efficiency. It really is a comprehensive system.
It is, and I think the biggest takeaway here is that video allows you to stop being a ghost.
We started with that image of the blacked out windows.
Wallace does the math on this, and it's terrifying. He asks us to consider the cost of invisibility.
Okay.
Imagine if being invisible costs you just 10 customers a day. People who searched for your service, didn't see a video, didn't trust the text, and went to a competitor who had a video.
10 customers a day doesn't sound like a catastrophe until you multiply it.
Exactly. That is 3,650 lost opportunities a year.
Wow. When you put it that way.
The cost of not doing video is infinitely higher than the cost of making it. You aren't saving money by skipping video, you are hemorrhaging opportunities.
You are leaving the door locked while people are knocking.
And it's not just about sales, is it? There's something deeper here about legacy.
What do you mean?
That's the thought I want to leave everyone with. Beyond the profits and the efficiency and the scaling, these videos are a record. They document your passion, your life's work, the team you built.
It's true. We work so hard, but so much of it just evaporates.
If your business closed tomorrow, would there be any record of the passion that went into it? Video captures the human spirit behind the company. It proves you were there and you made a difference.
That's a heavy but beautiful thought.
It changes the way you look at the camera. It's not a vanity mirror, it's an archive.
Well, I am definitely looking at my smartphone a little differently now. It's not just for cat videos anymore.
It's a secret weapon.
Thanks for diving in with us today. Get out there, stop being a ghost, and start telling your story.
See you next time.